oftentimes the initial first versions, they just kind of prove out the proof of concept, that this is, legit. But then there could be later players who come in and kind of really come up with a differentiated, unique, compelling product that just gains network effects, etc. With crypto right now, do you think Bitcoin and Ethereum have escaped kind of that whole competitive threat from others? Or do you think we're still so early in the ball game, in the early innings, that everything can be disrupted, everything can be changed, in 5 or 10 years? What are your thoughts?
Honestly, I'm sort of two minds because obviously I hold a lot of Bitcoin and I hold a lot of Ethereum, and I encourage people when they first start getting involved in cryptocurrency. Usually they are attracted by the shiny object. And the problem with the shiny object is the majority of things out there you will not hear of again in 5 to 10 years. But Bitcoin and Ethereum are highly likely to still be around, but never say never. The incumbent is always subject to basically disruption, right? Something could come along that is far better, faster, and cheaper. I think that Bitcoin at this point is, the most sound money. And so I actually think there will be a role for Bitcoin no matter what. There will be so much miner activity. There will be so much mind share there that as a store of value, I actually believe that Bitcoin will be durable. And my pitch for Ethereum is that there are so many developers who have actually built on top of it. The thing that I would be most concerned about is if and when the developers who grew up and built all of the things that created DeFi, that $80 billion in the DeFi ecosystem. The way to tell if Ethereum is going to not make it and, sort of lose its mind share to some other upstart, it'll be where the developers go. And, I think that there's some indications even now that that thing to look out for is Solana. I think that Ethereum is different in that Bitcoin is static. Ethereum, on the other hand, is clearly growing and changing and responding to the marketplace. I don't know if you saw Vitalik Buterin talk about this new meme that some folks on Twitter came up with called ultrasound money. But I think that that's amazing. What Vitalik said was that ultrasound money as a concept, EIP 1559 is coming in July. It's going to turn Ethereum into ultrasound money, meaning they will actually burn hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Ethereum every single year as a part of a fee burn. And so, theoretically, just as Bitcoin will hit only 21 million Bitcoin in existence, period, and that's enforced by the code. This is more theoretical now. Ethereum might only have 120 million Ethereum tokens, Ether, in the world, period. And that's basically going into the main line in July, and that's really soon. So I think Ethereum is much more agile because they've got a foundation, they've got a large set of core members, and there's a community that can sort of meme things into existence, which is increasingly very important for crypto. That being said, I think that a very solid and very interesting trade right now is to focus on also what are those Ethereum cult killers and which ones are the ones that developers will choose. And I think I would be very, very careful to focus only on what developers care about. Don't focus on what sort of Reddit is saying or what Twitter is saying. I think my whole career has mainly been about how powerful code is, and code is being built by the developers. So they are sort of choosing our destiny in a lot of ways. In the same way that I met Brian Armstrong when he was still an engineer at Airbnb, and he quit his job to go work on crypto. That was what sort of spawned the ability for an entire new generation of crypto engineers to really focus on that new space. That's my secret at the end of the day. Like everything about my fund and everything about my crypto investments really just come from what do the software engineers who could build anything, what did they choose? What platforms do they choose and what do they choose to build?